Rhonda Lee.
How many of y'all live in District 7, Powell-Halls High School? Probably most of you. Thank you very much. I am your county commissioner, and I can tell you it's been an honor to serve you. I will be your commissioner until August, and I want to tell you a little bit about you. I know most of you, there's probably a few faces that I don't know, but I am 8 generations of Tennessee. I have 6 kids and 12 grandkids. And I will tell you, I've been in this community for many, many, many years. But what I did for this community and as part of my community service is the whole time my kids were in school and they were at Powell Elementary, I was very involved in volunteering. We had a Powell recreation at Levi Field, and we had a lot of sports there, and I served on that commission because we had a lot of kids that wanted to play ball. So I got right in there and I got on the commission to help run Levi Field, and I coached softball. And then we had Powell Junior Pro, and probably many of you, your boys grew up and played ball at Powell Elementary at Powell Junior Pro. And so we had a cheerleading program that I helped start, and I was over the commissioner, the Junior Pro cheerleader commissioner, and we had about 300 girls that played. And they coached, and I think I coached 3 squads, and I was over the cheerleading. So I have been in public service for many, many years in this community, and I love it. And I think one of our greatest assets in love and passion is our children. And being a mom of 6 kids, that's what I've done. I've served this community through my children, because I think you have to give back, and our kids are our next generation, and that is our future. So as my kids started to grow up, I felt like there was a calling that God had on me, and I decided that, well, I think it was to go back to school. I'm a non-traditional student, so I went back to school. I won't tell you how old because I don't want you to start doing math, but I went back to school, and I spent 12 years working as a paralegal, getting my undergraduate degree. I went to Pellissippi, and then I went to UT, and then I went to Nashville School of Law, and I commuted for 4 years back and forth from Powell to Nashville 3 times a week. And I did that because I worked, and I was a single mom, and I had children, but I had a passion, and my goal was to make a difference in people's lives. And I knew that what I felt called to do was to practice law and make a difference in people's lives. And I never was on that track of making a lot of money. I didn't want to do car wreck cases. I was like, how can the Lord use me to make a difference in people's lives? While I was a paralegal, I worked for a lot of firms, and I worked for one of the best firms downtown, Payne Tarwater, who is now one of our Supreme Court justices, Dwight Tarwater. And through working there, and I volunteered at Legal Aid, and I knew there was a lot of calling. What was my calling going to be? I also interned at the Anderson County DA's office and the Knox County DA's office. And while I was in law school, the Supreme Court appointed me to be a special assistant district attorney. And so that allowed me to go into court and work with the DAs in there. And then I worked for the U.S. Attorney's Office, and I worked in the civil division there, and that included bankruptcy, white-collar crime, and anything that the United States was involved in the civil division. But it came time to go to law school, and I had to work, and UT Law School would not let me work. And I was not a 22-year-old living at home with my parents. I was a single mom with 6 kids, and I was like, well, maybe I missed the boat. LMU wasn't open at that time, and one of my attorneys that I had worked with said, go down and look at Nashville. And they kept bugging me because I said, I can't move to Nashville, but I'll go down there just to make them be quiet. So I went down there, walked in the school, and I felt like instantly I heard a voice that said, welcome to your school. Before I left, I signed up for law school, and I drove for 4 years. And in the middle of that 4-year journey, I got cancer. And I thought, well, maybe I really did miss the boat. But I thought, well, at least my kids can put on my tombstone, she almost made it. And I thought, well, I'll make it, and I'll make a difference, and I'll show my kids that they can go after their dream and do what they wanted to do. But here I am. I graduated law school and started working and practicing law. At the time, I thought I was gonna be a prosecutor. It turned out that got out of law school and they didn't have a job. So what was I gonna do? And somebody asked me to help this single mom who had been in jail for a couple of months, lost her kids, lost her housing. And I helped representing her. And the thing about that, I thought at that time, I was in row, wow, my time is almost up, I have just started. But anyway, so, I ran for commission during COVID because I felt like our government was overreaching. So I got involved in politics, ran as your commissioner. I will tell you, I've been very proud to serve on the commission, and I have voted to keep our conservative values in Knox County. One of the most proudest things I am is I introduced the Charlie Kirk resolution, and I got a lot of negative pushback from Republicans on that, but I'm telling you, I'm proud to represent Charlie Kirk. We had a judge that retired at the end of, December, and I felt like that was the next step, that I could serve Knox County as a public servant more on the bench than what I could as commission, which is term limited. And I thought that's what I, felt like that was what the Lord had called me to do. And so I am running for the general sessions judge. I'm telling you, I'm a very experienced attorney. I do a lot of, anything from murder, rape, any kind of crimes, drug crimes, and so I have got 1 minute left. So, but I will tell you, I have worked with Ms. Klein before her appointment as a DUI prosecutor, and I will tell you, she's a very fine person. I've worked with her, and I know that she is a good opponent, and anybody that you vote for, I feel confident would serve. But I'm asking for your vote, I'm asking for your prayers, and most of all, I need your prayers. And I ask your support. I do have signs here, and anybody that would like to help my campaign, I would ask you that. Thank you all for coming tonight. I will say this is the best district. You all are the best people. I love you all, and I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving you. I will always care about this district in Knox County. And somebody said, I'm gonna miss you on commission, but I'm not going away. I just won't be up there to vote, but I can guarantee you, with whoever you all select for Knox County Commission, I will be actively making sure that they're protecting our interest here in the 7th District. Thank you all.